Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino, man. Quentin Tarantino. Oh my god. Of course I was going to talk about this. I'm a massive film fan. I love the movies. I love going to the movies. I have in the world of cinema, in the world of filmography today, there's a lot that's been going on these past couple days. I could talk about the Netflix situation, buying out Warner Brothers. I could talk about this, which I almost would rather talk about this because this just came out of nowhere. Right, the Netflix buying Warner Brothers thing, I think everybody's kind of said their piece on it, but Quentin Tarantino coming out of nowhere and trashing certain, actors, where did this come from? I don't know myself, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I'll give you guys my personal thoughts. I'm actually very, annoyed by this, and I'm actually very disappointed in Quentin Tarantino. You'd think that there would be some ounce of class with this guy as a top-tier film director, because nobody's denying him that. The guy is a fucking phenomenal film director. The guy is one of the best out there. He's one of the best in the business, and he's still going today. He's, directing another movie or something. And I really liked his last movie a lot, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I really dug that movie. It's been a while since it came out. Was that his last movie? I think that was his last movie. I think he just released Kill Bill. He re-released Kill Bill recently, though, and put it back in theaters. The whole bloody affair, I think is what it's called. So the guy obviously is being interviewed, and he was interviewed recently, and he brought up a list of actors that he just does not care for. But it's not like he didn't just say that. Nobody pushed him to say this. It just came out of nowhere. I'm going to tell you what he said exactly, quote unquote, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section, because I truthfully believe that this is this is a very classless move right here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. I can't find the other original post I found about this, but here we go with what Quentin Tarantino said about Paul Dano. And he didn't just say it about Paul Dano. And then I'll go over some of the other things that some of the other actors who have responded to Quentin Tarantino, what they said. One of them being Matthew Lillard, who I'm a massive fan of. I love Matthew Lillard. One of my friends got to meet Matthew Lillard actually recently, said he was one of the nicest guys out there. I truthfully do not understand this out of nowhere lashing out at just other actors for no reason whatsoever. It's it would have been one thing if Paul Dano had said something about Quentin Tarantino, and then Quentin Tarantino came back and said what he was going to say, and that would have been fine. That's what it means to have an opinion out there. You talk and whatnot. And I'm not going to be surprised if Paul Dano says something about Quentin Tarantino at this point. But there's nobody who would never sit there and deny Quentin Tarantino's success. The guy is massively talented. He's directed some phenomenal films. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Kill Bill series, Pulp Fiction. I mean, the guy is obviously a masterclass director with so much talent. Paul Dano is a masterclass actor, at least in the stuff I've seen him in. Seems like a genuinely nice guy, just out of nowhere, man. Let's go ahead and start reading this and tell you guys what I think. I already know everything that he said, but in case you don't, here we go. How does the saying go? Opinions are like assholes, assholes like opinions. Anyways, Quentin Tarantino went to the Bret Easton Ellis podcast this week to announce his 20 favorite films of the 21st century, which is exactly what this is leading into. He wasn't even this again. Nobody asked him about his favorite actors or least favorite actors. He just decided to do this for no reason whatsoever. I have a lot of respect for Quentin Tarantino. The guy's an asshole. This is just an outright asshole thing to do. There's just no getting around it. I don't care how many movies he's made. I don't care how much money he's made. This is just an asshole thing to do. Outright asshole thing to do. I have criticized other channels. Yes, I have can give constructive criticism. I have even may have gotten harsh a few times. But there was always a genuine reason why I would do this. Okay, there was never a no reason I would just go out after somebody and trash them if they did something that was stupid, or I would say something, right? Especially if it's something that affected all of us as content creators. I would actually genuinely say something. But this right here, there's no reason for it. It's just mean. It's just he has a vendetta against some people. I really don't know. Anyways, a list that starts with Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down at number 1 and finishes on Steven Spielberg's West Side Story at 20. By way of a few surprises, Toy Story 3 in the second spot, and Midnight in Paris at 10. But the wildest of wild takes was revealed at his number 5 pick, There Will Be Blood. I have yet to watch almost any of those films. The only one I have seen that was listed is Toy Story 3. Number 5, There Will Be Blood, which I have yet to see. When Tarantino declared Paul Dano was the film's giant flaw. Here's what he said, quote unquote. There Will Be Blood would stand a good chance at being number 1 or 2 if it didn't have a giant flaw in it. He said big giant flaw. And the flaw is Paul Dano. Tarantino said comparing Dano's performance as twins Paul and Eli Sunday with that of Daniel Day-Lewis as oilman Daniel Plainview. Obviously, it's supposed to be a two-hander, but it is also drastically obvious that it's not a two-hander. And this is what he actually said about Dano. This to me is like, it's cringy, it's stupid, it's almost, I'm dumbfounded that he even said this. Get ready. I gotta build it up a little bit. Dano is weak sauce. Dano is weak sauce, man. He's a weak sister. Yes, weak sauce. I've seen Quentin Tarantino's performances. If we're gonna sit here trashing other actors for their performances, you're the last guy to do it. Okay, if we're gonna compare resumes, acting resumes with Paul Dano, I can already tell you right now, all of the performances I've seen you in, Paul Dano's one performance in The Batman already overshines every one of your performances I've seen. You're a talented director, but other than that, you're not that good of an actor. You always give awkward performances. I've seen you in, what was it? Oh my God. Vampire film. I already forgot the name. It has George Clooney in it. Until Dawn, something like that. Fuck, I can't remember. But yeah, he played a very awkward criminal brother in that film, and he does the weirdest shit in that movie. And then you're supposed to, like, I guess, try to find sympathy. I don't know. Fuck me, man. Okay, anyways, yeah, I've seen his performances. They're not all that good. The filmmaker shared his ideal casting. Austin Butler, who was 16 when the film was made, Austin Butler would have been a wonderful choice in that role, Tarantino said. Dano is just weak and uninteresting guy. Yes, he continued. It wasn't even like he stopped at weak sauce, weak sister. He's just a weak, uninteresting guy. Like, genuinely, it sounds like you have something, like, against Paul Dano. Like, you genuinely do not like the guy for some odd reason. And besides, like, Paul Dano, he goes after a couple of others, but he didn't go after them as much as he did Paul Dano. Paul Dano really got it here. Again, opinions are assholes, etc. But it's hard to not just feel a bit outraged for Dano. I wonder what the interviewer was doing when he said all this. Like, you know how awkward that would have been as the interviewer? To be sitting there listening to Quentin Tarantino just trash other actors like that? Who is both outstanding and pitiful as Eli Sunday, the sanctimonious young preacher whose barely disguised greed is overshadowed by the rapacious Daniel Plainview. In fact, Dano is outstanding and transformative in pretty much everything he is in. Love and Mercy, Little Miss Sunshine, Prisoners, and is frequently touted as the best actor to have never even gotten an Oscar nomination, which is crazy to me that the guy has not gotten an Oscar nomination. The guy is always doing, like, Oscar-worthy performances, like in Oscar-worthy movies. Like, I'm surprised he has not been nominated yet. It's going to be happening at some point, I'm sure. But if he continues going down the path he's going, he's doing great. And I hope that Quentin Tarantino did not deter his attitude. I hope he didn't, like, affect him overall, because to get something like this from Quentin Tarantino, one of the best directors in the industry, in my opinion, would be a shot to my pride. I would be hurt if I had heard this from someone like Quentin Tarantino. I mean, I would deem him as an asshole at that point, but I would be hurt because it's like, this is one of the best in the business, and he just said this about me. You know, obviously he didn't have, like, a mom to be around to tell him, like, you know, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. But I guess you get to the point where you just become such a fucking entitled dude that you just have no problem with doing this. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I'm genuinely annoyed for Paul Dano. I think this is actually just fucking mean, outright. He can do Unhinged the Batman, he can do Gentle Humanity, the Fablemans. His distinctive clay-like face is strange, amorphous quality that means he will probably rarely get to play a hero, but will land interesting roles. He could play a hero, no doubt. I have no doubt in the guy. There's also important background to Dano's character, and there will be blood. He was originally only set to play the brother Paul, but took over both of the twin roles 2 weeks after filming began. When the actor originally cast as Eli, Kel O'Neill was fired because the director Paul Thomas Anderson decided he wasn't the right fit. Dano was also 23 years old, early in the career, and suddenly squaring up against the actor wildly agreed to be among the best in cinema. At a point Ellis made in his defense. So it sounds like he tried to defend Paul Dano, which, good for you. That's ballsy to do in front of someone like Quentin Tarantino. When Quentin Tarantino says something, I'm not surprised, you know, well, my opinion is right and yours is wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if he had that attitude afterwards, but at least he tried to defend him, saying he was one of the best actors in cinema. What are you talking about, man? Daniel Day-Lewis also makes it impossible to make it a two-hander because there are aspects of the performance that are gargantuan, the American Psycho author said. But yeah, and plus Daniel Day-Lewis, dude, is like, he's arguably one of the best actors of all time. Not even generational. It's like he's one of the best actors of all time, arguably. He's that good. I've seen a couple films with Daniel Day-Lewis. There'll be Blood. I've seen Gangs of New York. I have seen Lincoln. I've probably seen a bunch of others, but I can't. The Crucible. I've seen The Crucible. Really enjoyed The Crucible. He's phenomenal. He disappears in the roles. He's one of the best. And to compare other actors to him, nobody is probably going to be up there with Daniel Day-Lewis when it comes to performances. The guy is just unbelievably talented. So it's not really like any other actor's fault. Even Quentin Tarantino putting Daniel Day-Lewis in his movie, most of the other actors might not do as well. And it's not like they're doing bad by any means. It's just Daniel Day-Lewis is that fucking good. That's not anybody's fault. So you put him in the weakest male actor in SAG. Tarantino replied, somehow forgetting he is probably the weakest male actor on screen in the Actors Guild. Yeah, dude, Tarantino is very rarely any sort of talented when it comes to acting. He can give off like a passable performance, but other than that, he's not winning any Academy Awards. When Ellis asked if Tarantino had ever joined Dano in any project, he replied, "I don't care for him. I don't care for him. I don't care for Owen Wilson, and I don't care for Matthew Lillard. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is even happening right now? Why the hell did you even bring them up? I'm not saying Dano's giving a terrible performance. I'm saying he's giving a non-entity performance. Tarantino clarified, which, again, opinions, arseholes, but was he watching the same film as the rest of us? Probably. He just has something against Paul Dano. He just has something against Matthew Lillard and Owen Wilson. And Matthew Lillard, he actually replied. This is what Matthew Lillard said during an interview. And there's actually video footage of it, but let me just go ahead and read it to you really quick. "It hurts your feelings," Lillard said. And he wouldn't say that to Tom Cruise. He wouldn't say that to somebody who's a top-line actor in Hollywood. I'm very popular in this room. I'm not very popular in Hollywood. Two totally different micronisms, so it's humbling and it hurts. He was honest. He said, it hurts. Not gonna hide it. He's not going to hide from that. It hurt my feelings. You know, to hear that coming from someone like Quentin Tarantino, one of the big dogs in Hollywood, saying that about me for no reason whatsoever. And he does make a point. Like, would Quentin Tarantino say this about someone like Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise or some big fucking A-list actor? Which, to me, Matthew Lillard's already been up there as an A-list actor. I view him as that. He almost makes the movies he is in, which is one of the features that I love about Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, even knowing, yeah, it's Johnny Depp, for the most part, any movie he's in, he enhances it. Matthew Lillard's the same way. He enhances any movie he's in. So that's a very rare quality to have in an actor. Sometimes it can be hit or miss for actors. It'd be like, he was really miscast, or she was really miscast. Matthew Lillard's almost never miscast. He's almost good in every fucking thing I've seen him in. So yeah, what I hope at the end of the day here is that Matthew Lillard, Owen Wilson, and Paul Dano, I would not let his words go to your heart. The guy's a talented director. He's one of the best in the business, right? One of the best in the business. There's no getting around it. But to a lot of people, Matthew Lillard, Owen Wilson, and Paul Dano are some of the best actors in Hollywood. And they should be damn fucking happy and thrilled to have you a part of their community. I've not heard one negative thing about you guys, like, ever. Specifically Matthew Lillard. I have never heard anything negative. Paul Dano, nothing. Like, you guys never go out of your way to start a scene. You never go out of your way to fucking make anybody's lives miserable. You never, nothing. I'm not even sure if any of you have any criminal records. I don't know. Having said all of that, I want to know what you guys think in the comments section. Hit the like button first off. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I really wanted to tackle this because I just found it to be so disheartening and so bothersome to be coming from someone like Quentin Tarantino, trashing other people's acting when he himself has not given any sort of performance that is even memorable. In my opinion, From Dusk Till Dawn is the one movie I can remember where he was in the movie for the most part, like till half of the movie, and his performance was so weird, so I don't even like him in that movie. I actually don't like his character at all in that movie. I think it's absolutely one of the weirdest performances I've ever seen in my entire life, and I'm pretty sure he co-wrote that. Matthew Lillard, he's been in Scream, Five Nights at Freddy's, fucking Scooby-Doo. I mean, the guy has such a roster under him, a more respectable roster when it comes to his acting career. As a matter of fact, I hope someone actually hires Matthew Lillard to give an Oscar-contending performance, because I'm sure he can fucking pull it off. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Marley and Me, Shanghai Nights, the Night at the Museum series. Owen Wilson's been in great movies, too. I don't understand this. I truthfully don't understand why with Quentin Tarantino here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'll see you on the next one. Do take care.
One man on a mission who wants to going down, coming after all these paranormal clowns. He's watching, not letting get away. On his way, cut stars, tearing the fakers apart. Leave with his heart, no one dare tell him catch me yet, because Jacob's had